Good morning, Internet. Black Friday. If anybody is not out shopping, hopefully they're watching the CIRF report because there's a lot going on in the sky. And I don't want you to miss this opportunity that's here today. We still have remnants of the full moon that happened about, well, at the time of this recording, 6 hours ago-ish. And now we've got numerology of 23, which is right here. Temptation, senses heightened. There's a frustration in partaking because we have a conflict in what's more important, the bottom line, our waistline, our bank account statement. But here's this thing that I'd like to do. And so we have that conflict going on. And then we've still got the full moon, which is Sagittarius opposing Gemini. We have the Gemini moon that we're going to talk about here pretty soon, but this little red part here is called a T-square to Mars. And this aspect is what was showing up in yesterday's Dreambot run. A little anger, a little irritation. Things don't go your way. And this is actually showing up very well in the Dreambot again today. But the sequence goes like this. The Mars is showing you obstacles, is showing you frustrations. And the Gemini moon then, as a result, shows you how to deal with that. Gemini being a good teacher. And because books and learning and studies are part of that Gemini sequence, and has no problems dealing with these things. But there is that downside, because when anger gets out of hand, then we tend to not act in accordance with our higher values. Kind of get lost, and we kind of get impulsive. And so we have to really figure out a way to do that. And I'm going to show you by a technique called Defusion. We're going to do that a little bit later. This will be probably a little bit longer running video. But full moons in general are opportunities for letting go of something. And that's, the most applicable today. Anger actually has you kind of the opposite, where you get really engaged in something. Even if you're repressing it, you're subconsciously more obsessed with it, which means it's harder to let it go. So instead of letting it go, we have a different option today, and Gemini is going to be the answer to show you how to deal with this irritant. Okay, let's move on. And I'm going to come back to it later in the CIRF section. So here we have two different memes, and the red meme is all about Mercury, where it's showing you stuff, so illustrating. Teachers in there gave lucid soul induction, so it's very illuminating, if you will. And then the Mars T-square it shows up in the blue, so button and flash, you pushing your buttons, a flash of anger. This whole linguistic set, every easier anger, certain feeling, means that anger is easier, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. And at the top of this meme is the word tests. You are being tested, but it's not just haphazard. It's not just to make you mad. It's not just to irritate you. That's not the point. The point is, with this full moon, this is an opportunity to resolve this whatever is irritating you. If it's irritating you, chances are it's more universal, particularly if it's a recurring pattern. All right, so have I given you enough so far? Now we need to talk about how to surf this energy, so stick with me. Oh yes, this is the day to help you punch through. And it's not it is a figure of speech, yes, but it's very literal. This is an opportunity for you to punch through in your life, and it has to do with honoring the emotions, honoring the anger. So many of us want to just pretend that that irritation doesn't exist, and that all that means is you're going to have to keep reliving it, generally probably unconsciously if you're repressing it. So today is all about sitting down, start your day and start to realize what's already irritating you. This is a great time to, instead of pushing it down, repressing it, distracting yourself by getting ready for work or whatever, to spend some time and really take an honest look about what irritates you. And then the Gemini today, the Gemini moon is going to show you ways, instruction, education, illumination about how to resolve whatever it is that is causing you to get irritated. So it's a really beautiful thing. Now, the really important technique that I wanted to talk to you about is diffusion and act therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy. We have this thing called diffusion. And we tend to get fused together with our emotions and our thoughts. And so it goes like this. Anger, slam the door. So if you get angry, and if you're fused with that anger, we tend to get really impulsive. And then our reaction is together with the emotion. Anger, slam the door. But what if we could separate those out, even if it's just a little separation? And now we have the feeling of anger comes on. It doesn't bring the reaction with it, but now we can choose a different reaction. And so if we can make any type of space in there, we can insert learning, we can insert values, we can insert really anything into that space, as long as it's not, our actions aren't just impulsively based on the emotion that is taking place. So we need to, and the neat thing about diffusions, we need to make that separation, but we can actually kind of look at this emotion. Instead of being fused with it, like I am angry, we can kind of take a step back, not ignore it. Ignore it is repressing. You can take a step back and look at it and see, what is it trying to show me? And that's the beauty of the Gemini moon, is to show you why you're getting angry and how to deal with it. But you have to be in a diffused state, not an ignoring, not a dissociation state, but not full on embedded into that anger. So we need to take a step back, look at it, and then be able to move on. What can you get rid of in your life? That's the perfect combination with the full moon in the T-square, allowing Mars to show you your irritations, and then Gemini will help you break through. All right? Yeah, I didn't do what I promised with the commingling of the Mercury, Jupiter, and Sun, but we get to do that on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend and play around with this all throughout the weekend. Full moon isn't just an on-off switch. Oop, it's on and all of a sudden it's off. It's, you know, it's waxing into the full moon state and then it's starting to wane off. So there's still that energy on both sides of the full moon. It's a gradual increase and a gradual decrease. So you're going to see this plus or minus 3 days. Yes, some people say 2 days, some people say 24 hours, you know, but the point is it's still there, even though we're in the waning stages of the full moon. So take full advantage of it, and we will see you on Monday. Thanks, everybody.